Welcome back to West Texas View.
Yeah, okay. Welcome back to our program. Wenda Christopher, who is the Dean of Students at Hillcrest School, a private school for students with learning differences, and Amy Hendricks, a parent who has had a son there for several years, and she in turn worked there for a short period of time to help them out because she was such a passionate devotee of that school. And so one of the things when you were telling your story that I had a question about is being a very small in stature student who had suffered bullying in past educational experiences. Did he come expecting that and was so pleasantly surprised? Or did he think because he was going to a new place that he wouldn't have it? Did he go with trepidation, I guess?
I think because he'd been there in first grade and it was such a positive experience, when he went back in fifth grade, he was kind of expecting that positive experience, even though the location had changed and several other things had changed. And so I don't think he went with that trepidation.
Okay.
And again, he went on even though he'd been there before, he went back and he spent 2 or 3 days on that tour and spending time in that classroom, getting to know what Hillcrest was like. And so that makes a big difference. I think they really make a difference.
And one of the things you said, Wenda, was that the lower the classes, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, are bigger classes. They still don't have but about 10 or so in them. Right. But as they get up to high school, then many of them have gone out into the mainstream. So approximately how many of the 69, if you can tell me that, are high school students, 9 through 12?
We have 15 9th through 12th graders right now, because I know I'm taking 15 students to camp. So I think we're just heavier on the bottom because we're getting more younger students in, and that small group that originally started has just stayed. And we do get calls from 8th, 9th graders. We have a new 9th grader this year. So we're still getting some high school students in. But like Amy was saying, as far as our admissions process, the parents usually call, they'll come take a tour, they'll have a meeting with me, and then the student will visit for 2 days. And that gives the student an opportunity to get to know the students, the teachers, the school procedures, and feel more comfortable. They're usually more comfortable on the second day. And it gives the teachers and the students and parents the opportunity to determine whether it's a good fit, and then the students can start pretty much immediately after that if we all decide it's a good fit.
Is it an ungraded situation where they move at their own pace, or is it the self-contained classroom? All the first graders move to second grade at the same time.
That's a great question, because our smallest class, or the youngest group of students, is a K through 2 class. So the teacher's able to bring the faster learning students up to the second grade level, whereas she can also help the students who might be having some problems struggling in one area or another. So it's very fluid, but we do try to keep the students on grade level. So the second graders will move up into a third grade class, and then we'll still have the K through 2 next year in that class.
And as I said before, many of these students are very exceptional mentally, and so you have to be prepared with a lot of enrichment material.
That's what our teachers do best. They're masters.
And what you're laughing
I'm
about
just thinking about, I mean, there are some amazing artists. There are some kids that can fix cars from the inside out. Just the ones that I know that have, whatever their interests are. Yes.
So your son is a photographer, and
so no, I'm sorry. That Betty's son that graduated. He's the photographer in New York. Now my son has a little bit of he kind of thinks he might want to be a CSI person or a writer. Writing is his true love, and that's what he really. And he had the ability to do that at Hillcrest. He had creative writing, and he had the time and the effort to put into that. And sometimes they could use that skill, in helping him figure out that math wasn't as bad as he thought it was sometimes. You can write a story and use your math, Hunter.
And then also they're encouraged because everybody's not strong in everything.
Exactly.
Even the brightest among us. And so that's an important thing. You've got a small enough group that you can really give them individual attention when you know that they're really feeling bad about the fact that they are really bad in this subject.
And these kids know each other. Hunter's group of 6 that graduated together, they knew each other's strengths and they knew each other's weaknesses. And like siblings, they could pick on those little weaknesses.
But they could also.
But they helped each other out. And he and one of the other boys that graduated with him are both in Austin together, or not together, but they're both in Austin and they see each other. And so, there are some relationships there that are long lasting, but they're very supportive of each other.
And they know that they're all on their own plan. So they might say, why is he doing this, or why is she doing that? And we just remind them they're on their own plan. We modify and accommodate for every student's needs.
So, as a parent, I bring my child and I come to you and you tell us about the cost, about the procedures and all of the things that they need to know, and then the child goes for 2 days, and then what happens?
Well, normally it's a balancing act between whether the parent calls me or I call the parent, but in the case of the student starting tomorrow, they're usually really excited to get started as soon as possible. So we can request records from the former school and just get the parents to fill out an enrollment package and talk about tuition and down payments, and then the students can start. We wear uniforms.
But what? Oh, good. That's a great piece of information. Uniforms are something I am strongly in favor of. But let me go back just a minute. What if I tell you, here I am, the parent sitting at your desk, and I tell you pretty much what she said. I have a career, and I have a very demanding job. Also, it's going to be about a 20-minute commute. And so, do you have an after-school program or what?
We have the elective as the 7th period, which is like an enrichment class, and then we do have a study hall that meets until 4 o'clock. So the students can stay in there and work on homework or any other type of assignment. And if parents are running late, they can call. We'll be there till 5 o'clock or later. So we're always there for the students. We're always there to help meet the needs of the parents because we know they're busy and they're working. And if they feel that Hillcrest is the best school for their student, we're going to make it work for them.
I hope you have taken down the number. If you don't, look it up in the directory, because it's really, really important that you call and get any questions answered that you have. We've had so much to ask that we haven't covered everything they probably wanted to tell us. We'll see you next week with another program. Thanks for joining Wenda and Amy and I today.
Thanks for joining us for News West 9's West Texas View with Johnny Lou Avery. This has been a public affairs presentation of KWAB TV and KWES TV.